have the tolerance, we don't have the endurance to want to patiently be mentored, be led. We just want to become, we just want to emerge from nowhere. Typically, it's a story of when you hear that this is a G boy, this is a Yahoo boy, he's gone plus plus. You just see maybe a very elderly, successful man driving a Venza or a Prado, and you just think that this person just came out from nowhere and started driving a Venza. No, this man went through processes. This man, there were moments when he didn't have food to eat. There are moments where he was lying down, maybe in an uncompleted building and all of that. But we don't want to go through that. We don't want to do the proper response to the system that is not working by giving in, being grounded, putting in the work and the necessary things that is required of a youth to become. I like to tell people that nothing just happens until something happens.
Just as they
Because
say
at
that
the end of the
nothing
day,
good comes easy. Just as they
exactly,
say that nothing good comes easy. Yes.
nothing is easy. And the truth is, we all must suffer from one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regrets. That is
Okay.
where I'd like to take this question.
Thank you so much, Desmond. It's been a
Yes.
great pleasure sharing the moments with you and David. These are the two D's that came around. And they are great fellows when it comes to talking about the modern world activities. That's talking about infotech activities and all that. And you still have had time to think of how to help others get developed. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for being here. Uh, as I said, I've been talking with Desmond Kuba. Desmond, all the way from Jos, is part of this program today. And Desmond is a media person, and he has proven all that today. Desmond, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Uh,
you so much.
it's good also because there was something you said I need to stress a little more. You said that you're a Christian and you allowed the spiritual matter to affect your life for the better. And so I want to tell whoever that is watching, be you a Christian or a Muslim, let the positive things you're learning from this your religious association help transform your life, because it is God that you're talking with in that your faith. Thank you so much, Desmond. In the same vein, I want to also thank, but before I say something, let me return to Desmond. Desmond, this is not going to be the last time you'll be with me on this program. I hope you would oblige me, because once in a while I'll say call you again. And by any means you find yourself in Abuja on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, it will be good to have you here. Right?
To be
Thank
an
you so
honor,
much.
sir.
Right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Right. And that your organization is what? Build Up
it.
Africa.
Build up Africa.
Build Up
Yes, sir.
Africa. Thank you so much. And to you, David, that is here in Abuja, I'll also be bringing you, as I just told him, because I need to be getting you people to help let the others understand that a lot is still there to be done. Your organization is Build Up Christian Network. Thank you so much. And this is how we'll round off our discussion, but I must say to you, David Akintade, David, please do come again, because we have a lot to share. You help, as you both are doing things, training other younger people to help them grow. You're making the economy virile. You know, Nigeria became the leader in the economic state in Africa because of the fact that the young people, many of them were trained in these skills you people mentioned here. And with that, Nigeria overtook South Africa and Kenya and became the first. So please keep doing it. It will help the economy of the land. We appreciate you both and what you have done. I will say, just conclude the discussion part while I take the rest of the program. Thanks a lot. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you. All right. I would say that here we would get into something else immediately. We want to look at what we have from the stock, talk about stock, because today, of course, is just the beginning of our matters, but we still need to look at it and see what we've got from the stock exchange, and then we'll look at some other business stories that we have. I don't know whether the business, yes, there will not be any businesses this day, but we have business stories, so we'll talk about them straight away. Begin with the stock exchange, please. No, there's a page we need to look at while we discuss this, please. Okay, we'll take a break or return. What we have, talking about the stock exchange, we're just really going to, as a sort of timing, we'll make it very brief and go on. But then let's look at the stock exchange. And it has been bearish lately, as all share index dropped 1.27% in one session. That was 3 days ago, wiping 2.18 trillion from market capital. But volume and value traded jumped 192% due to big institutional trades. And looking at the institutional trades that have helped greatly, we talk about Dangote Cement, talk about Zenith Bank, Airtel Africa as the major ones who are here, who have gone into it on a serious note. The NGS extended a bit of a losing streak, and there are groups that have also done well, and talk about the price and the chart. Looking at the chart and the stock prices, you will see that a lot more has happened. But we're looking forward to seeing that in this new week that something different could happen in with the stocks, and that way we'll return and to talk about them the more on the program. That's it for that one. Then we have also other things that have to do with the same stories, because looking at derivatives of the FX, the sports week ending June, excuse me, June 11, there were things that ended, and week ended June 19. There are also things that came up. The week that ended June 19 had 2,286.93, and then weekly and daily average was 457.39. We're talking about something in $1 million. Then FX forwards was 36.14 for the week and 7.23 for the day, with the share of 98.44 for the sports and 1.56 for the forwards. The exchange traded FX futures just like that, just let it be. But the derivatives came 36.14 for the week and 7.23 and as a daily average. The share was 1.56, while total was 2,323.07 for 164.62 for the daily average. The share was 1.56%, and of course totally it was 100.00. Well, that is also how I would say we'll skip that and continue with it next time. Now, there are business stories that we also want to show. And so let's look at them. The second page that we normally bring on is what we'll get to have, and monetary matters. In monetary matters, we have monetary review. We have 51.04 billion 17-year highest external reserves strengthens macroeconomic stability. That is what the CBN has tried to show, and the CBN has closes in on year-end target, and the forex outlook is also positive. That's what the experts have said. And if I were to stress it a bit and take more of it, to say that the Central Bank of Nigeria is closing in on its $51.04 billion year-end gross external reserves target. Data from the Apex Bank's website have shown. And at 51.035 billion external reserves position on June 18, the CBN needs additional $4.45 million accretion to hit December 31, 2026 target of 51.04 billion. The current external reserves position marks the highest level in about 17 years, following stronger foreign exchange inflows and improved market conditions, impacting positively in the reserve position. Nigeria's external reserves, which provide the CBN with the capacity to support the local currency and meet external obligations, have continued to rise steadily. That's it. And the external reserves movement analysis on CBN website showed that gross external reserves stood at 51 trillion 035 billion 544 million 733,000 and 65 dollars, of course, not naira, and the highest level since January 2009, when reserves hit 51.07 billion. Well, that is just what we have on that particular one. We'll still continue with it, but in a different story. As we have been told that Africa faces $402 billion infrastructure gap. $402 billion infrastructure gap. Africa requires nearly $500 billion annually to bridge its infrastructure deficit and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), according to a new report that warns the continent's development ambitions could remain out of reach without urgent action from governments, investors, and insurance industry. The Africa Insurance Pulse 2025 report released by the African Insurance Organization (AIO) estimates that Africa needs about $495.6 billion annually until 2030 to meet the SDGs meet the SDGs, while the financing gap stands at approximately $402 billion each year, representing about 81% of total requirements. The report identifies inadequate infrastructure as one of the biggest obstacles to economic growth, industrialization, climate resilience, and social inclusion across the continent. It notes that despite improvement in some sectors, particularly telecommunications, Africa continues to lag behind other regions in transport, energy, water, healthcare, and digital infrastructure, with rural communities bearing the greatest burden. And finally, we have been told that Nigeria fast positioning as hub for green ammonia on high fertilizer output. But then we want to take something else that will be better for us, how pipeline surveillance strengthens oil output to all-time high. Pipeline surveillance has also helped. Nigeria's crude oil output has, for the first time in 2026, reached 1.53 million barrels of crude oil per day, hitting the pinnacle in 15 months and cementing its position as Africa's leading oil producer. Checks showed that the country's production boost has been attributed to several factors, chief among which is the intense oil pipeline surveillance being carried out by Tantina Securities Service Nigeria, TSSNL, which is leading in the fight against illegal crude oil refining in the Niger Delta region. Well, that is also where, also because of time, the round of the entire thing we have in the package today. I want to thank you. One more time, I want to say thanks, of course, to my guests, David and Desmond, that were there. And I also want to say thanks to you, dear viewer, for being there. Thanks as well to Sanusi Adebayo. And of course, I wouldn't forget that there was also Bright Chukwebue at the stage in there. And want to thank all of you for helping. Victor Adeye, Victor Chizea, thank you. And of course, Oluwaseun, thank you so much. Adejuwo, thank you. And Felix Akinjagola, thanks to all of you. Not forgetting by any means the young man that has helped us also come out the way we did, talking about blissful capacity. Thank you for helping in different ways. I also want to say thanks to Eke Chukunalo for all that has happened, and all the other young fellows with whom we have worked today. Thank you. God bless all of you. We will meet again some other time on this platform. On behalf of all, I want to say this is Okechukwu Onubogo, and what have I got to say? May the very best happen to us all the time.